Sup y'all, JOAT here. Welcome back to a new review. Today we're going to be looking at Disciples Alliance Volume 6. So basically there's 20 tracks to get through. I'm going to be talking a little about each and then basically summing up my overall thoughts in the back end of this video. So bear with me, let's get right into it. Starting with How We Roll by Disciple themselves. Basically all the artists on this compilation, I think. My favorite part of this entire tune has to be Virus Syndicate rapping. The bars are really creative and executed well. He shouts out a million different Disciple projects. The first drop is lasery, but I wasn't getting much out of its plainness, although the energy picks up towards the end of it. And this second drop is definitely Leatrix inspired, metallic, glossy overtone, nice flow, better than the first drop. So yeah, and the outro's also mesmerizing. Yeah, tune's okay, don't know if I'm going to be going back to it or not, at least the first drop.
This is the way we roll.
That was nice. Next up is Samplifire's Berserker. So Samplifire hasn't impressed me in a while, but this tune did. I mean, the Viking aesthetic, ominous, grandiose intro, outro, and build-up, and the drop, just ravenous synths, almost being overpowered by these chanting vocal samples in the back. The force and feel is really good. The second drop isn't nearly as good as the first though. The sustains are kind of weak, but they sound good, to be honest. Glad to be rocking with Samplifier again. Modestep, lost my way. So everything leading up to the drop is amazing. The singing, the moody pad, and moog bass layers in the back, emotional stuff. As for the drops, they're actually better than the majority of Modestep's recent output in the last couple years. The mixing is sorta off, but other than that, it's okay. But there's one thing I noticed about this track that recurs in some of the other songs on this comp. It's basically Modestep's older style. It's a nostalgia trip. Keep watching till the end of the video and y'all will see why this gets problematic AF. Eliminate, Multiplex. This song is very clearly an Eliminate tune. The droplet-like pinprick synths peppered throughout the mix, but I've heard this style being put to much better use than what we get here. It's low energy, the delivery isn't standout. Only thing going for this track are the sounds, which we get by Eliminate so often anyway. I'd rather just listen to Stupid or Weeble Wobble. Also, the synthwave part that plays out in the intro and midsection is pretty generic and doesn't add much to this tune. Nice outro though, I like how the notes slowly bit crush towards the end.
Eliminate.
This delivery's a little better, more varied. Still low energy. It seems the 80s synthwave influence continues on this Barely Alive track. Know You Better featuring EXO Eliza. It's much better though, I'm feeling more personality. And the drops are something I've been wanting from them for a while now. More focused, and being limited to a few above average sounds. Some are pretty harsh on the ear though. Kind of Ultra vibes, but the sound design and execution don't really compare. One of the better tunes on this compilation, even though that's not saying much. Variations better in this drop. That's good. 12th Planet, Follow featuring Katie Sky. So I don't get why mainstream producers feel like they have to drop a generic, future bassy melodic dubstep song every so often. The singing here is the only redeeming factor in the pre-drop, and the rest is so bland and has been done better so many times before. The drops are packed pretty closely together, kind of annoying fake out at first, but this second drop is better for sure. Delivery is decent, but still the rhythm stabs aren't all that unique either. Not getting much from this track. Another good outro though. The one thing that really gets my attention are those hi-hats. I like those hi-hats, but the rest is meh. Oliverse, Don't Wake Me Up. This is the second example of a more old school tune pulling through. For me, the Modestep track sorta kinda worked, while this one pretty much does. I like the note progression all throughout the first drop. It's adventurous and reflective, and it gets really nice towards the end here. Also enough variation in the second drop for me to more or less enjoy this track. Another highlight for me. This part is good. Oof. Fox Stevenson, Just Don't Mind. I can safely say the preview for the song didn't do it justice whatsoever. The first drop to my ears sounds too bland. The note progression that comes in kinda helps out with that. But the second drop is pure flavor, shrill but satisfying, still glossy but has a sense of personality and character. And this final drop is more or less the same as the first. I already said what I had to say for that. It really didn't need to be there. The energy's there, but it sounds off. It kind of gets better here. Some melodicity kind of creeping out. Oof. Now we get to the most forward-thinking track of the compilation, by a long shot. Dream Logic, from of course, the legend himself, Virtual Riot. Textured intro, vocoded, pitch-altered vocals. This first part of the drops, ARPs pulsing in and out serve as the main idea, and holy shit it works. And the second part picks up even more, melodic chaos, everything so well placed and organized. And it gets even better. Much motherfucking better. This second drop is unreal. Absolutely motherfucking unreal. I don't know how to describe this. Overwhelmingly beautiful layers of melodicity flickering in this almost random fashion. But everything sounds like it has a purpose still. Best track for sure, not even debatable. Oh. I'm about to cry. Oh my fuck! it just fades out into nothingness. Next up is Bandlez Precaution featuring Dread MC. I've never been a fan of Bandlez music. Something about it just rubs me the wrong way, and this track isn't an exception to that rule. The reggae drop is just so iffy, in my opinion, of course. The delivery sort of smoothens out in a melodic future rhythm sort of fashion, but the synths just are so flat and it gets boring quick. The second drop is actually tolerable though. Thin sustained bass moves across the mix with thick layering propping it up, but it kinda distracts me from the main idea. Objectively, I guess this track is decent, but I don't know. I just don't know. Those synths that just shot in her eye. The layering is okay, but it kind of muffles that sustained bass. Dirtyphonics, Dark Elixir. This track is dirty, no pun intended, and I see why people like it. I personally think it isn't bad, really picks up in the second drop. I'm smelling code influence though, but I wouldn't say so rip-off, so whatever. Really nice outro as well, hazy pads in your face. Overall, I was satisfied with this tune. Not the most inventive or original, but the heaviness and flavor is there. I love those machine guns too. Oof, that's rough. Graphyt, Earthquake. Nice rap intro. Drop features these hollow rhythm stabs, which are decent. Second drop follows soon after where the synths get more pinprick and detailed, but this gets sort of tedious. And the third drop's fake out is cool. Drop is also just a big meh, and the final drop is basically the same thing as the second. I guess Graphyt sort of built upon his style with this tune, but for me it's a big meh. Probably won't be going back to it. Ecraze, get real. Is it just me, or are Graphyt and Ecraze's styles a little too similar? I mean, I know they're friends, but nice fake out at first. Stompy, rearing, but still bound to the ground. But that sustain is so obnoxious at points, especially in the first part of the drop. In the second part, it kind of complements what's underneath, and I don't mind it as much. And I'm guessing the third drop is supposed to be a variation of the first. Another meh for me overall. Sound design doesn't resonate with me much, although it isn't bad. Just that sustain. Why is it there? Or why isn't it doing anything else? I like the pitch movement of it here. Decent machine gun-like basses. PhaseOne, make it bump. Another tune I like. I also hear code influence. I'm sorry. The machine gun basses. I might be wrong there, but yeah, heavy stuff. Lots similar to the Dirtyphonics tune, apart from the code influence I'm hearing. Stompy, solid drops. Love the tone of those machine guns. Also cool snare switch up, so loads to like here. Ooh. That's what I like. That background layering too. Yeah. Woohoo! Infekt, McRiddim. Typical sort of jokey narration in the beginning, which we've been getting from Infekt for a minute now. Org sample, just casually sampling the best rhythm tune of all time. Let me get this straight, this isn't Infekt's best work by far, but he still effortlessly creates a fun rhythm song with, I believe, a single seething synth. Second drop variation, stretching and manipulation, solid tune. What else is there to say? The just stretching. Just gotta appreciate it. Chibs, karate. Chibs is another producer whose material I mostly don't enjoy. Zoot is amazing, and Crust and Jelly's pretty good, but the rest I'm not a fan of. I like the moody, sleepy tone of these synths, the I don't give a fuck vibe they give off. Also like how the fills sort of sound more awake than the main synths do. This track could have been a lot shorter though, in my opinion. The drops aren't varied enough to hold the average listener's attention, I think. So objectively, decent, and I like it. Murder, Not Alone. Another tune that I can vibe to, but in my opinion it's pretty plain. The fuzzy deep basses paired with the vocal, the distant pads, and tribal perks give off this sinister tone that I really enjoy actually, but not much ingenuity from Murder, I have to say, especially in the second drop where the energy is sorta lackluster. Still, the tune's enjoyable, although I'd love to hear Murder's OG style more often on these types of comps. It's just a vibe. Kinda tedious. Now we get to my least favorite on this compilation. Dodgin' Fuski's 10 Years Too Late. The bulk of this song sounds so devoid of anything, really. Just these half-generic synths in your face joining on and on and on. There's a couple new sounds introduced in the second drop that are okay, but the track as a whole is just so boring. The sustain is okay too, but the rest is just... also okay, but the execution, like, what the fuck. Now we get to Myro's Who Dem featuring Dread MC once again and writer Shafique. Another old sounding tune, also okay, like the two rappers' delivery, but the drop doesn't drop. It's just synths layered with the vocals, and by the time the second drop rolled around, I was pretty much bored of the entire song. This track is missing a significant element that dubstep music should have, in my opinion. It's just not structured all that much. I get it's supposed to be old school, but it's not working for me. I like the Reese, that Rising was fire. Final track, Terravita, Galaxy 16. Again, meh. Neuro-y, squelchy drum step. I don't know if this is supposed to be old school sounding or not. I guess it is. I like the somber pianos layered over the fast-pacing intro leading into the evil vocals. But again, not much invention. Just go listen to Inspector Dubplate's releases from a couple years ago, and you'll find music like this executed much better in my opinion. Drum and bass switch up in the second drop. What can I say? I was already tired of the idea as soon as it ended in the first drop. Or halfway through even. Like the voyaging feel. Break beats are cool. For the fills, I guess. The energy's cool, but it just sounds generic to my ears. And yeah, that's it. Time to get into my final thoughts. This was like a 4 out of 10. If Berserker and Dream Logic were in on this comp, it would be like a 3. If y'all watched the video all the way through, you know that I got tired of the ideas in a lot of these songs when they rolled back around in the second drop. Also, I feel like this comp was way longer than it really was, and not in a good way. It felt like I went through 50 tracks here. Right, so let me say my piece on the older sounding songs, right? There basically wasn't any ingenuity or unique elements there that separate them from any dubstep released between 2009 and 2014. And I feel like they're trying to give their fan base a truckload of nostalgia to make them appreciate the music so they don't have to try anything new. And it really shows for someone like me that doesn't listen to much mainstream Disciple. Yeah, overall, this wasn't it. As a whole, it wasn't it. And it was annoying as hell to write the script of this. This has been your boy JOAT. So, I know this video is going to get a lot of dislikes. Nevertheless, give this video a like if you enjoyed. And make sure to subscribe if you want. You can unsubscribe anytime. Please drop your opinions of this comp in the comments. I want to make sure I'm not going crazy or anything because this was tough to get through. For the most part. Peace out. Thank you for watching.